If we're not at a Disney park, we're dreaming about being there, and a cup of Joffrey's Coffee Disney Blend helps. But what about when you're at a Disney park? The Joffrey's Disney Kiosk and Restaurant Locator will make sure you never miss out, whether it's a cool drink on a hot summer vacation or a great cup of coffee at a Disney signature restaurant. Joffrey's has you covered. Check it out at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To our new passengers, aloha and welcome aboard.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott, joined by
his lovely wife, Dawn.
And just wanted to pass that out that we're praying for Bob during his family's time of need.
Yes.
He's taking a little time to take care of what he has to take care of, but the show will go on.
Yes. We'll take care of it. They take care of their stuff. We take care of them on this end.
That's absolutely right. So I thought this would be a good time. Granted, everybody's talking about Star Wars now. We don't want to talk about Star Wars right now. What we want to talk about... Tell them what we're going to talk about, Dawn.
Our last hurrah before the kid goes to college.
That's right. Our Caribbean cruise.
It was fantastic.
It was fantastic. Our cruise was on the Fantasy. 7 days. Our ports of call were Tortola in the British Virgin Islands and then St. Thomas.
Yes.
And then,
of course, Castaway Cay.
Love Castaway Cay, although we didn't even go to the beach this time.
No, it was really windy, and I'm not a wind and mix the wind and the sand kind of person.
Right, and
we're not beachy people to begin with, and so when you threw the wind in there, although it wasn't a super warm day, but it wasn't cold either.
No.
But I was a hot tub person that day.
Yeah, you were. That was nice.
That was.
But we did get off. We toured the island a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful island.
Right. Why don't we start from the beginning? That was the last day. Why don't we start on the first day?
We can start on the first day.
Let's start on the first day.
We'll call that a tease.
There you go. All right.
All right, take us back to our first day.
Our first day. Well, you and Mackenzie decided to drive down because she was wanting a road trip.
Yes, she was. She chose. We gave her the option.
Mm-hmm. She just wanted a road trip, so you and Mackenzie left a couple days early and drove down and stayed and an extra night and went to Disney Springs and had your favorite dinner, or one of your favorites, I should say.
One of mine. She actually chose it. She wanted to go. Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Art Smith's Homecoming. We each got the chicken, because how could we go and not get the chicken?
Right.
Art Smith was there.
Yes.
He was milling about. He came over to our table.
Yes.
This was very exciting. Came up behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like put a hand on my shoulder and said, "How are things going?"
Mm-hmm.
Right after, I promptly put food in my mouth.
And couldn't talk.
And couldn't talk to him. He couldn't ask for a picture. He goes, "Well, glad you're enjoying yourself." And he moved on to the next table.
I know.
So that was my brush with greatness.
Yeah. But that was really nice. That's pretty cool, though, that you met him.
It was very cool.
So that is cool.
It's always good to see the owner of the restaurant there. You don't always see that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So.
Well, I had to work.
You did have to work.
So I worked, and then I worked the next day while you guys were still there. Having fun. And then I flew down, and you met me at the airport, and then we stayed at the loudest hotel we've ever stayed at in our entire lives. Here's my tip. I don't think Mackenzie realized until much later how close Disney World was to the port.
No, because we gave her an option.
Right. We just want to stay at a hotel at Disney World. No. She didn't want to do that. So, and I'm not sure. She just didn't realize it was that close. She just didn't want to drive longer to get to the port, drive hours there. She didn't realize it was so close.
I remember kind of trying to explain it to her, too. And she was very adamant that she wanted to stay as close to the port as possible. She was worried she wasn't going to make the cruise or something. She just wanted to make sure she was there.
Sometimes she gets funny like that.
Yeah.
So, whatever. But here's my tip. Do not ever stay at a hotel near an airport. Just don't. Because there are people coming and going at all hours of the day and night. People fly in late at night, so they stay at a hotel near an airport. People have to fly out early in the morning, so they stay at a hotel near an airport. Somebody is always moving in that hotel.
That's true.
And they are not kind and courteous. They are not quiet. Doors were slamming, people yelling. I mean, they weren't even attempting to be quiet. I did not sleep at all. It was awful. It was a nightmare. And there was also some sort of, I don't know, cheer competition going on that little
something. Yeah.
young cheerleaders were staying in there. And so they were running up and down the hall and in and out of each other's rooms. And I was over it. So,
I will say it was free, which is the main reason we chose that hotel, because we had points we could use.
Right. That's about what it was worth, too.
Well, it's true.
So, place to stay, place to shower.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatevs.
So, glad to move on.
But the next day was much better.
Yes. Because we got to move on to our cruise.
Yay.
So, we got to the port. I don't remember what time our port arrival time was. We picked one. But we picked one fairly early.
It was real, because we kind of had our hotel breakfast and we just left.
Yeah. We had to go to Target because I forgot a few things. So we had to go to Target and pick up a few things.
Which was right off the highway there.
It was nice.
It was very convenient.
Mm-hmm. Picked up a few things and then we went. But I don't know. I think we were there maybe a little bit after our port arrival time. But pretty much we didn't wait very long before we boarded. Our number, had like boarding number like 4 or something. It was very early on.
Yes.
So
the whole check-in process, again, very easy.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in, the people eye you up. They look, ask you, kind of where you're staying or what your status is, and they direct you where you need to go.
Yes. They're always so nice. I don't have any problems with that.
No, not at all.
So we got on, went to Enchanted Garden for lunch. Is that where we went? No. Went to Animator's Palette.
Yes, they changed that.
They did, and it's now not a buffet. It was a choose off the menu.
Right.
That was different from the last time we cruised.
It was, although it was nice to go in Animator's Palette first thing.
It was. I love Animator's Palette. It's so pretty in there.
Nice and bright.
Mm-hmm. So we had very good lunch. So it was quite filling. So I think I only ate about half of mine because it was like dinner size portion, which I was kind of surprised about how filling it was. And they also offered like an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. Mm-hmm. So, but I had some sort of steak. It was good.
Yeah, I don't remember what I had, but I remember everything was good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say anything was really bad on the trip.
No, not at all.
So,
and then pretty much when we were done eating, I think cabins were pretty much ready right after that.
I think so, because we didn't even have to. We had some bags. No. We didn't even have to carry much of anywhere, and we didn't really go anywhere to wait.
I think everything was pretty much. We kind of were like, because it was only like maybe 1:00, maybe shortly after. Usually not right till 1:30. But we got in there. We met our stateroom host.
Yes.
I forget his name. Anouk,
something.
Anouk. I don't remember. Fabulous.
He was great.
He was fabulous. So really liked him. He did a fantastic job. Our room was always clean. He made us the fun little towel animals every night. He did a really nice job. Brought us ice that we needed every day. He did a fantastic job. We were the first sailing on the Fantasy where they changed the toiletries instead of having the little tubes of conditioner and shampoo and lotion.
Right, the H2O products.
They still have the H2O products, but now they're in the ginormous bottles like they have in the value and moderate resorts now.
Yes.
But I'm just going to say it.
Say it.
Not a fan.
No.
We used them because we were the first sailing, so we knew that nobody else had used them.
We knew they were clean.
They were clean. I was totally fine with that. I don't like them for several reasons. The first being that you have to pump the pump like 20 times to get a decent amount to come out.
Can a brother just wash his hair or wash his body? I just need some soap. I just need some gel.
Exactly. It was awful. It's like, oh my goodness. So I developed some definite forearm muscle strength during that week, pumping those, trying to get them out. And they can say, oh, well, there's going to be a sticker on there that, so it's a tamper proof. Really? It fell off. Literally the first day we showered from the steam in the shower.
It is wet in the shower. I don't know if they've allowed for that.
Exactly.
But
I also think they might start to have some issues with that shelf coming loose with the people pushing down so hard on those pumps.
That's a good point.
So there might be an issue coming up. And, I don't know. But my thing is, what if you have someone that uses the restroom and they go right from there, they don't wash their hands, and they go right into the shower, and then they're touching their fingertips to the tip of the shampoo.
Right.
You get that bacterial growth in there. Friends that we traveled with, he happens to work for a company that investigate stuff like that.
Yes.
And so we learned a lot about stuff like that. And he said that he says don't ever use the soap like in public restrooms, the soap dispensers, because when people do that, they accidentally brush against where the soap is dispensed.
Right.
And although it's antibacterial soap or regular soap, it doesn't often kill, and that bacteria multiplies so quickly.
Right.
He goes, it gets on that nozzle, and he
It's
says
warm and wet.
you're dirtier, coming out of the restroom after washing your hands than before you went in.
Yes.
That's why I carry my own personal Purell with me
That's
at
right.
all times.
This guy's a sterilization expert. He knows what he's talking
He
about.
does. So if you see me coming out of a public bathroom and I didn't wash my hands, no fears. I've got Purell in my purse.
She's already
I'm good.
Purelled, and she's Purelled.
I'm
throughout
good
the
to
day.
go. So yeah, I don't. And don't get me started on the hot air blowers. We'll just leave it at that. So, but anyway, so the next time we cruise, if they still have the pump bottles that are general use for people, and some people aren't picky about that. They're
Right.
not. They don't. And I don't think that we live our life in fear of a few little germs here and there. I don't. We go to restaurants and, I know they're not completely germ free. I mean, our bodies were made to fight off germs and things,
Right.
but there's a whole different level of germs when you're talking about E. coli, when you're talking about a regular flu virus.
On a ship.
On a ship. Exactly. So I don't want anyone out there to think that, well, I am the germaphobe queen at school. They all know that. But I don't want people to think that we live in this sterile bubble.
No,
we
not at all.
don't. But from knowing the people that we know who work in the industry that we know, there are certain things that I just don't do. So we'll bring our own stuff the next time. But I will miss the H2O stuff because I do love it.
It's fantastic.
It is.
I love the shampoo. I've always loved that shampoo.
Oh, it smells so good. Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's my big beef. I wish they would change that. But anyway, that's my only complaint. I suppose if that's our only complaint on the whole cruise, they did a real good job.
They did do a really good job. It was a fun cruise.
It really was. So that night we met our dining room server.
I was going to say, the people we were traveling with actually requested.
They did. They
This
had him
server.
before.
And we got him, which I thought was kind of fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were thrilled.
They were. Yes, his name was Dan. He was from Romania.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the assistant's name.
I don't either.
Oh, he was a little frazzled. I think he might have been new.
I think he was.
So he tried really, really hard.
He did. And
He
he
did.
got a little better as the cruise went
Yeah.
on. So I think he was learning fast.
Yes, he was. He did a fantastic job. He tried hard.
And he smiled more, I noticed, as the cruise went on.
Yes,
too. The
yeah, I
first
think he
couple
got a little
days,
more
he was-
relaxed.
I think so.
So, but Dan did a nice job, and he remembered that the little girl we traveled with loved strawberries from her previous cruise, brought her strawberries.
How do they remember all that stuff?
I don't know. That's crazy, isn't it?
Nuts.
So, and then Mackenzie was like, well, I like strawberries too. Next thing you know, there's 2 bowls of strawberries every night at the dinner
Every night.
table. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. And then he brought out some fun brain teaser games and that kind of stuff to play with as the cruise went on. So that was really fun. So we had a good time.
I love that a lot.
Yeah. I like dinners. It's the only time we got to see Mackenzie.
That's true.
And we only made her sit for 45 minutes.
Because part of the reason for the cruise was because she was, she's turning 18. And when she turned 18, you're out of the kids' clubs.
You are. You're done in Vibe. And she just wanted one last time in Vibe. So we cruised one more time.
Mm-hmm.
So that could happen for her. And so we pretty much said she has to spend dinner with us 45 minutes.
Yep.
And we did let Dan know that she only had to spend 45 minutes with us. So
Bring the food.
bring her food, and the rest of us will sit and enjoy dinner.
Right.
So, and that was kind of nice. It actually worked out kind of well because he brought our appetizers, brought our entrees kind of quickly so that we could eat with her, and then we could linger over dessert. That was nice.
Because again, like we normally seem to be doing anymore when we cruise, we always go with late dining.
Oh, I love the late dining.
And I don't understand. I don't say I don't understand. I understand if you like early dining. But I think sometimes you hear the argument, I'm too hungry. I can't wait till late dining. I'm like, there's no shortage of food on that trip to get you through.
None. None.
So if you need a grilled cheese sandwich or an ice cream cone or a Mickey bar, you can take care of that.
Oh, for sure.
So
So, yes. And he did bring out Mickey bars for the girls, and
he did.
He did. He was a good guy.
He was a great guy.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
So, but our first 2 days were days at sea.
I love this itinerary because 7-day cruise, 3 ports. That means the rest are sea days. And I think I
love
love
the
sea
sea
days
days.
more than the ports.
I do too. They're fantastic. So we had, we just like to play trivia. And so we played a lot of trivia.
We did.
And one thing that we had never done before that was on sea days on the Fantasy was anyone can cook.
Tell everyone about that because that was so much fun.
It was. It was moderately well attended, I would think. So
absolutely.
It's not for kids. The first 2 that they do are not for kids. They're for 18 and older.
Mm-hmm.
And they have one of the sous chefs come out from Remy, and they do a cooking demonstration of something that they do make at Remy.
Right. This wasn't like a line cook. He was an actual
Oh, yeah.
chef or sous chef.
Absolutely. He was like the head sous chef, I
Yes.
think. So he was ahead of a lot of people because a couple people asked him questions about like what his position actually was.
Yes.
And they didn't just cook. Like he told a lot of things like why there's not salt on the table at Remy because they feel like if they don't season the food properly, they haven't done their job properly.
Right, yeah.
And so you shouldn't need salt because the food should come out properly seasoned, which is really kind of odd because I know your dad, no matter how much seasoning they would put in something at Remy, your dad would still want a half of container of salt on it.
Oh,
because your dad was a salt addict.
Oh, was salted before even tasting it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for
this
sure he
clearly
was.
needs more salt.
Exactly. But that was very, very interesting, you know. So they gave us a lot of like little things like that, like why they did certain things and but yeah, they did a whole cooking demonstration. And not only that, but you got to sample what they were cooking
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So one of the things they did were sea scallops. Is that right? A scallop dish?
There was scallops, I believe, and there was the dessert one they made. There was a dessert.
The dessert was apple strudel. That was amazing.
Yes.
The kids could go to that one. That was
Right.
the one that was for families. What were the 2 ones that were adults? One was a scallop, and then what was another?
No, I don't remember. And I had the menu around here somewhere from
Was it
the recipe.
It was something else that had seafood in it because I couldn't eat either one of them.
Right.
So, because I'm allergic to shellfish.
Right.
So I didn't eat either one. But yeah, they do it like right in front of you, and they have TV screens up so that you can kind of see what they were doing, and it was really good. But I really, really did like watching the apple strudel one that he did. Because it was absolutely beyond amazing watching him stretch that dough. Just when you think it's not going to stretch anymore without tearing, he would double it. It was just amazing.
That's part of that whole dining experience where it's also art, not just not just cooking. It's art.
Yeah, oh for sure. So it was really fun. I really, really enjoyed those, and yeah, you could ask questions during the demonstration, and they had a host that was there that would, you know, help you ask questions as well.
Do you remember, was it just the one we went to, or was there a sommelier at each of them serving wine? I remember there was at least one.
Yeah, there was the two adult ones. There was a sommelier, and they came out and talked a little bit about the wine that paired with each of the things. So.
And then they sampled it. They were handing out little glasses of wine. It was
fantastic. Yeah, that was good. I tried that. Not allergic to that.
Not allergic to wine.
Nope. So that was good.
Walk in. There's like a little paper that actually has the recipe on it.
Right.
So you can take that with you when you're done and want to try to make it at home.
Right.
So I thought that was very nice.
Right. It was just really nice. And it had a picture of it, like what it should look like. So it was nice. Those were something that we had never done before. And I don't know, had our friends that we traveled with, had they not experienced it before and said, come on, let's do this, I don't know that we would have gone.
Right. And it wasn't where I assume like maybe it would be in the kitchen. It was was at the D Lounge?
D Lounge. Mm-hmm.
Right there in the back of the D Lounge. So
yeah, it was really nice.
It was very nice. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. So I would definitely do that again. So, but we did that. And then in the evenings, we went to the adult show usually. We didn't do the shows in the theater. We haven't done those for a while. No. Because I feel like been there, done that.
Kind of, yeah.
So,
I don't really necessarily always want to sit in a theater. We didn't even go to a movie this time on the ship.
No, we didn't. We just didn't have time.
I want to say, was Avengers playing on the ship then? And I didn't want to sit in a theater for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't know.
They were long.
I'm not
movies.
sure.
Oh, it was Captain Marvel.
Oh, right. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I'm kind of glad we didn't because our friends did. And the one act that they had, they felt like it was an infomercial for his book.
Right.
So it was a magician. We saw him later. I don't know if it was that. Must have been the next night we saw him. And, he was sad. He just wasn't good.
I think
there's been so few things on the ship, a few acts on the ship that we have seen. I really can't think of another one that wasn't good. He's the only one I can really think of that I thought, ugh. And I didn't want to, there was enough people walking out that I thought was already rude. I didn't want to get up and walk out too, which I just wouldn't do that because it's just rude. You can sit through a 45-minute show, and even if you're bored or think it's dumb, be polite, be kind.
He looked familiar, and I think his name sounded familiar, so I probably had seen him somewhere. I guess I don't know, he said he was kind of a big deal in Vegas, but maybe everyone from Vegas says they're a big deal at some point.
I don't know. But, I suppose it's because one of my teacher friends is a magician, and another one of my teacher friends' father is a magician. So I have seen them, and they've also shared some of their illusions with us. And so I'm familiar with some of the things that he did. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at him like, really? This is what they do to entertain elementary kids, and you're trying to entertain adults with the same thing. I was kind of like, not impressed. But I was just like, not having it. Not at all. And I wasn't quite sure where the whole ventriloquist thing fit in either. That was a different guy.
Yeah, that was a different guy. He tried to do a little game show, and
that bombed monumentally.
Yeah.
It was just bad. So the two adult acts that we saw at night, But the actual match your mate, that was hilarious that we saw. That was, I don't know, the first or second night that
where there was an engagement that took place? Was that where it was? Or was that before that?
Yes. No, that was the engagement. And then there was a couple that had been together 11 years, and then the couple that had been together like 40 years or so.
Right.
So, that was probably the funniest one.
That was hilarious.
When they asked, like, what is your wife or what is your female wife, whatever, wearing?
Right now. And she left the room.
Right. Which was hilarious because the husband and wife that had been married 40 years were actually twinning. They had on the same T-shirt, and he's describing something totally different. That was hilarious.
Something that wasn't even what she...
No.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
So, yeah, the Match Your Mate was really fun. We had a good time with that one.
We did.
So there was another one that we really liked.
There was a lot. The staff, the cruise...
Oh, the staff made the trip. They were fantastic.
Was a riot.
Christopher.
Yes.
Chris.
Just Chris.
Chris.
What's my name?
Chris. He was great. He was fantastic.
The trivia he ran was fun. Just seeing him everywhere. He was having a good time and making sure everyone was having a good time.
That's right. He was and I think there was a girl. I think her name was Katie as well.
Yeah.
She was really, really well. I think she was from England. She was having a good time making sure. We did trivia with her one time.
Yes.
Oh, we did the brain teaser trivia with her.
Oh, that one hurt my head.
It was harder trivia. That was good. We had a good time. She was really, really good as well. So, but yeah, they were fantastic.
Right.
So, I don't know. Anyway, so then we had our day in St. Thomas.
Was Tortola first? Is that St. Thomas?
I don't know.
First? I think Tortola was first.
Okay. I don't know. I don't remember. Okay, so St. Thomas or Tortola was first.
Tell them everything we did in Tortola.
We didn't do anything in Tortola.
We got off the boat. We walked to the end of the dock.
Yeah.
Looked around.
Yes.
And turned around. Went back to the ship.
And then I made Mackenzie turn back around so that we could get a picture that said we actually were in Tortola.
Yes. At Tortola.
She growled at me. I'm telling you, this is the thing with Mackenzie. She has been the easiest teenager girl to raise ever on the planet. She has been fantastic. She is easy. She's go with the flow. Mm-hmm. She's happy 98% of the time.
And drama free.
Yes. You want to create drama with Mackenzie, you are not getting far. You better turn yourself around and go find somebody else because now she's done with you.
You've been cut loose.
You have been cut off. And don't try to get back in her inner circle. You're done.
You're out of the bubble.
You're one and done with her. So lately, and I think it's because of the stress of graduating and getting ready for college, we have noticed she's become more of a typical teenager. And this has really thrown us for a loop. And so when I said, we should take a picture in front of the sign that says Tortola.
Right.
Oh my gosh. You would have thought I had said to her, I am now going to throw you off this pier and you need to swim to St. Thomas.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. So she begrudgingly did it. And then we walked back on the ship.
Right.
And then she went back to Vibe and we went back to our happy little selves.
Right.
And we saw her at dinner.
We did.
And that was the end of that.
Did we get into the pool that day then?
Yes, we got into the pool, talked to a very nice lady who cruises all the time.
The adult pool.
Yeah.
And she
that was
lived in
nice.
Celebration, which made it that much.
Yeah.
Which was why we hated her that much more. No, she was very sweet.
Yeah, she was nice. Well, she was bumming because I think it was her niece who could get her all these deals and stuff, was staying at Disney and the cruises and everything.
Yeah, it got
left Disney
Yeah.
to become a teacher. And she was like, man, my discounts just ended. So she was living it up on that cruise because that was the end of it.
Right.
But then the next day we were in St. Thomas.
Yes.
So, and we went to Coral World. And
Yes, we had our, I'm blanking on his name. Our driver.
I don't know. He had a weird name.
He did have a weird name.
I'm sure it was his nickname. But let's just say Dawn and Tim are happy to be sitting here because we literally almost died. Because let me tell you, if you've never been to St. Thomas, they drive, figure this out. In their cars, the steering wheel is on the left side, just like here in America.
Just like here.
But they drive on the left side.
Right.
The right side. They drive on the right side. Or the left side. No, they drive on the left side. So figure that one out. There's no depth perception to speak of.
No.
It was awful. And I honestly, truly believe that their stop signs and traffic lights are mere suggestions.
Guidelines.
I'm not even sure they're guidelines. I think they're suggestions. Because we were coming down, and it's very hilly there. It's just hilly everywhere. And so we were coming around a corner, and a pickup truck was coming out of what would have been an intersection.
Yeah.
And just went.
Just went.
And our guy had to go halfway up the mountain to avoid hitting him, overcorrected, went to the other side of the road where a car is coming, and then overcorrected halfway back up the mountain.
Right.
And I thought, we're not going to survive. I'm like hanging on to Mackenzie, and she's like, yeah, let's just go back to the ship. I'm cool with that.
Back to our safe ship.
Oh my gosh. I did, honest to Pete, didn't think we were going to make it. The guy gets out of the van just like, oh, have a good time.
That's true.
I'm just like, are you kidding me?
He was unfazed. Must just be how it is.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't ever need to go back there in a car, ever. It was awful. And maybe it was just us. Maybe it was just that one time. I don't know. But it was scary. I thought when we were in New York City with that cab, this was worse than in New York City.
Oh.
Way worse than in New York City.
I remember gripping on the things a little tighter in New York City, though. Maybe I was just busy. Because on the way to our excursion, we could see all the hurricane damage.
Oh, yeah, that was awful.
That was crazy.
Because they're not rebuilt yet all the way. Not even close.
They have to wait for supplies, I think, to keep getting over to the island.
Right.
And I think didn't they say the Home Depot is like always busy and always out of stuff because people keep...
They said they can't keep anything in stock.
We went by one church, it was just totally opened up. It was crazy.
Well, they said after they had the first hurricane, then Irma came through and dumped another, like, what'd she say, 50 inches of rain or something? It was crazy.
It parked over them and just sat there. And just
like it just dumped, and there was just nothing they could do about it.
Right.
And they were prepared for the first one. It was Irma they weren't prepared for.
Right.
They didn't think they were going to get hit by her, and they did. It was awful.
Yes.
So, so we went to Coral World, and we did the semi-submersible.
We've done semi-submersibles before. We usually enjoy those. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fine. The staff there, again, very, very nice on the semi-submersible. They were
Right.
very nice. The water was really cloudy. I don't know if that's just typical. There, it was difficult to see, although we did see a sea turtle. We did see we saw several rays. The creepiest fish ever. Oh my gosh. It looked like someone with a tennis shoe stomped on their heads.
Yes.
Because they use the top of their heads as suction, and they stick themselves on other larger fish, and then whatever the other larger fish don't eat, the leftovers they eat.
Dinner.
It was gross. Those things, I forget what they were called. Mora.
Maybe. I don't remember either. I have good
Mora
pictures
fish?
of them.
Oh my
post
gosh,
them
they
at
were
the show.
just disgusting. They just kind of creeped me out.
It was. It looked like Legos that were sticking on them or something. Or a
Ugh,
vent.
I don't know. Anyway, so then when we were done with that, because we did that first,
Yes.
we went to do the rest of Coral World.
Mm-hmm.
And I had kind of made friends with this lady and her son on the ship. We kept running into them
Yes,
on
we
the
did.
elevator.
They were great.
And so we were in the, I forget, the coral reef part where they were going to do the feeding. And I went over, and I wasn't the only one talking. There were several other people talking, but went over to talk to her and her son because they were on the same excursion, and to tell her that we seemed to see a lot more things sitting on the right side of the vessel rather than the people who were sitting on the left. So I wanted to tell her and her son to sit on the right side in case. I said, although it's a vessel, you never could tell which way it goes, but give it a try. And so then the employee at Coral World starts screaming at everybody that they should pay attention to her because she's trying to explain how Coral World is different from every other aquarium, that they don't have to add chemicals to the water because it's actually natural seawater for these animals that's just pumped in. And I was like, she was screaming at everyone to shut up.
She was kind of a big deal, I think she thought.
Oh my gosh, Mackenzie's like, let's get out of here. So we got out of here, and then she was done. She didn't want to go anyplace. I'm like, well, let's go look at the birds. Let's go here. She's like, I don't want to get yelled at. So we pretty much sat until it was time, till the other excursion on the semi-submersible got back and we left.
Right.
So that was not fun.
That's where we caught up on our emails and Facebook there.
Pretty much.
That's where we had
Wi-Fi. No, we didn't have Wi-Fi.
service.
AT&T service, yeah.
It's United
and they had
States.
iguanas running around, and their nails and claws clicked all over the board. Oh, no, thank you. Bye-bye.
There was a little gift shop there. It had some nice stuff in it. There was something Mackenzie wanted. Mm-hmm. So we were in line with our one coffee mug, I believe it was.
Yes.
And there was a guy in there. He was in there for a while. He was just about ready to go up, and he said, we said, go ahead. You were here first. He was like, oh, thank you very much.
Because the employee had taken a bunch of his other stuff.
Yes.
And taken it up there. And the girl he was with, granddaughter or whatever, said, well, we're here. She has all the rest of our stuff. We're like, well, go ahead. Whatever.
Right. But it was like a pallet worth of merchandise the guy was buying.
No kidding. And
we had to catch our van back to catch to the ship. Mm-hmm. So we had to bail on the cup.
Yeah.
So.
And then that's when Mackenzie's teenage ugliness really reared its ugly head.
I just wanted a sea turtle mug, I think is what it was.
Yeah, she wanted a sea turtle mug. And so we get back, and he drops us off. And I wanted a T-shirt because I didn't get one in Tortola. Mm-hmm. So I wanted it because she was being teenager-ish. And there's really not very many shops in Tortola near the pier.
No. And
I don't know, so we just left. I said, I want to go get a T-shirt. Let's go look for a mug.
Right.
You find a mug here. It doesn't have to be at Coral World. It can be here.
Because there was a nice couple rows of shops there.
Oh, lots and lots of shops right by the ship that you can walk to in St. Thomas. Tons. No.
Right.
I want to go back to the ship. Okay, well, I want to go get a T-shirt. Let's walk down here and get a T-shirt. So she begrudgingly goes, and she's walking, slower. And then she's walking slower. And I'm getting angrier and angrier the slower that she's walking. And finally I snapped and just started screaming at her. All I want is one T-shirt. And I said, now you're grounded from Vibe. So when we get back to the cabin, get a shower, and you can enjoy your mom and dad's company for the next several hours instead of your friends. You think because you're on a ship that you can behave any way you want? Dream on. We are still parenting you.
You're not the queen of the seas.
No, that would be me. But no. So she did. And then she apologized profusely. And then we turned her loose.
Yeah.
So then we had another day at sea.
Another day at sea.
More trivia.
Hot tub.
Yes. That was fun. No, that wasn't hot tub day.
That wasn't the hot tub day?
No. So, and then that was the anyone can cook. That was the apple strudel day where kids could come. That was amazing. That was a fun one. We just did a lot of stuff.
We did.
So, and then we had the next day was the Castaway Key Day.
Right.
And Mackenzie was hoping, she met some amazing friends at Vibe, which is why we never saw her.
Right. She still talks to them to this day.
Yeah, they're Instagram friends, and all that stuff, and they have a great time.
Just yesterday, she said one of the friends from the cruise are on another Disney cruise right now. I think she
Aw,
said Alaska.
Lucky.
And I think another one was down in the parks.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, she said one of the friends that she was hanging out with, she's like, I can't understand them. They're taking a Disney cruise and they've never been to Disney World. That's kind of weird. So they didn't understand a lot of the other stuff that they were talking about because almost everybody had been to Disney World too,
Right.
but they were trying to fill her in. I think it was a boy trying to fill him in. But anyway, that's one of the reasons why we never saw her. She had like a very good group of friends, about 8 to 12 of them that hung out. So, and most of the moms, we didn't really even have to be the bad parents because Vibes open until 2 a.m. And I really didn't want her out until 2 a.m. But I don't know whose mom it was, or the other moms were like, no, you have to be in at 1. So she was in at 1 every night, which was really, really nice.
Right.
So that kind of worked for me. I didn't have to be the bad guy on that one. But anyway, so then Castaway Key Day, she was hoping some of them would do the Wild Side excursion, and then none of them wanted to do it. So then she was kind of like, okay. And I think that their families made them spend the day as families on the beach.
Island Day is family day.
I think that's what their family thing was. Island Day is because Mackenzie's like, none of my friends have to eat dinner with their family. I'm like, well, sorry, that's your family rule.
That's right.
So I think their family rule might have been Castaway Key Day is family day.
Yeah, everyone has their rules.
Exactly. So she did hang out with us for a little while. We got off and we walked around and did our thing. We toured the island a little bit. We looked for, I have had a very favorite cup that I'd gotten on Castaway Key a while ago, but did not find another one that was the same.
No.
That made me sad.
Right.
But yeah, we met up with some friends of ours that
yes,
they have 3 darling little kids.
You can say their name, Emily.
Emily. Hi, Emily.
Hansa Hicks and her husband and their kids.
Their kids. So we actually met up with them and took the tram in to the first the family beach there.
Yes.
So, and as we were getting off, Dan happened to be behind us,
right.
our server. So we were like, oh, he's like, hey, have a good time. So that was kind of cool to run into him.
I think it was working cookies too. I think.
No,
was
cookies.
It one?
Mm-hmm.
One. Okay.
Yeah. So we did that. We hung out and then we went back and because it was kind of windy. It was windy. It was warm, but it was just not for me.
Right.
The water wasn't terribly warm, so I'm an 84, 85 kind of girl, not a 78 kind of girl.
Oh, I hear you there.
So I'm like, forget that. So we went and got in the hot tub, which was like 104. So I was
nice.
Totally fine with that.
That was nice.
So we were in the hot tub for a little while. We were in the pool for a little while. Then we got in the hot tub.
Right.
So we got out of the hot tub. And we talked to a very nice guy. I think he was, I can't remember. He was from a Central American country, but I can't remember which one. I want to say Honduras, but I'm not positive.
Oh, the cast member. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He was
Had
great.
A very nice conversation with him. That's just the nice thing. Cast members will stop and talk to you, and they'd love to hear your story. I love to hear their story, like where they're from, what brought them to the ship. And, it's just really, I love the interaction. So, but it was good. And we had our last sad dinner.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Is there anything worse than that last sad dinner and then you got to kind of pack up that night?
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, should we jump ahead to leaving the ship? Because we carried our luggage off the ship again.
We did. I won't ever do it any other way. If you have small children, I don't know how you could possibly do that and wrangle your kids.
Because you'd have so much luggage and
the little ones.
And there's only 2 of you probably able to, handle the bag. So you
but as your kids get older and they can handle a bigger suitcase or their own suitcase, walk it off the ship because you don't have to worry about putting it out by 10 o'clock the night before.
Right.
You don't have to worry about waiting for your colored tag to be called and, having the customs line be, really, really long. But when we got in line, it was, I don't remember what time it was, but we were kind of back by the shops. And we waited, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so before the ship was cleared and the doors opened. Mm-hmm. But once the doors were open, we were off the ship. We swiped our cards off.
Right.
Went down into the terminal building, got in line for customs. I don't think that we were in line for customs for more than 5 or 6 minutes.
No, I mean, it looked long, but it kept moving.
Oh, yeah. Because
job.
I think almost all the customs lines were open, or most of them.
I think so, yeah.
So it looked long, but, we zipped through pretty quickly because we had all our luggage, got through, And once we were out of the ship, we always park on the 3rd floor parking deck. I know a lot of people take shuttles and they park for free at hotels or whatever. I'm not of that mind. I'm of the, it is worth the expense to me. I'll cut back someplace else on my trip.
Right.
But it's worth the expense to me to park in the parking deck that is right there.
Yep.
And we always park right on the 3rd level because there's the skywalk that's right across there. You take the escalator up, cross there, boom, there's our car.
Yep.
Which I left a Coke in, which ate through the bottom of the cup.
It was in a paper cup, yeah.
It was a big old mess.
Well,
whoops.
Fortunately, it
Sorry.
was easy enough to clean up, but...
Yeah. We were, literally from the time we got off the ship until we were on the highway, I'm not even sure was 15 minutes.
Oh, no, it's
quick.
fast. It was super fast.
It was so fast.
And
we were traveling down the highway at the posted speed limit
No.
for literally an hour. And then...
let's not talk about I-95.
That was the end of that.
Let's not talk about 95.
Nope. All right. So, there you have it.
I will say, getting back to the customs thing, getting off the ship, make sure your kids aren't wearing headphones. You have to be able to listen to what they're telling you to do. You don't want to have to keep telling your kids to pull their headphones out.
Right.
So just, 'cause
They can put
They
their
want-
headphones away for a few minutes.
you would think so. But
That was not our kid, by the way.
No, not at all. But there are cast members there and customs people that are telling you where to go, how to get there, and they don't want any joking around there at all.
You
You're done
do
with
not
the
want
Disney.
to joke around
You're
at
done
customs.
with the Disney people there. Now you're on to the U.S. government people.
Yeah, no, you do not want to joke around in customs.
So you listen, follow directions, and you'll be just fine.
Right. So, yeah, you don't want to be doing that. So, but all in all, 10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10. Great cruise. Mm-hmm. I believe we had great weather on the cruise. We had some rain one night, I do recall.
We did.
But it just adds a little something to the trip.
I could have done without the rain.
Yeah, it was at night, though.
Yeah, I guess. So it was a little chilly, like a couple of those days, but they were not days when, the island days were perfect. They were beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
So, but a couple of the days they were chillier. Like in the morning till like warmed up. Like I wouldn't have sat outside on our balcony without like a sweater on or something. It was a little chilly. So
Pools were consistently busy, I do recall. I do remember.
oh yeah, I was definitely warm enough to swim.
But they do a good job. They designed those ships so the wind doesn't hit you out in the pools.
No.
That is great.
It's great. Adult pool's great. The adult hot tub was great.
That was wonderful.
It was fantastic. Ice cream was great.
We love the ice cream.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I didn't see anybody do anything gross with it, so I was totally cool with it. I'm sure they do. Like I said, germaphobe with certain things.
Awesome.
Other things, I know my body's designed to fight off those germs. So there you have it. Any last thoughts?
No, but if anyone out there is thinking of booking a cruise, give us a little contact over there at ResortLoop.com.
For sure.
Bob and myself will be happy to help you. Bob's still working with the travel agency part of things, so don't everybody forget that.
Yes, he is, for sure.
So
So
well, thanks for joining me on the show today. We wanted to get this show out for a while, and with Mackenzie graduating and parties to take care of, we just didn't seem to have the time.
Oh my goodness. That was a whirlwind. Ending school.
It was.
I don't know why I thought being done with school on the 31st and having her party on the 1st would be a great idea.
Because she's going on a senior trip that we had to be done before.
Oh, right. I forgot.
So
You're right.
Yeah.
But that's okay because it was a great party. It was good weather.
It was great weather.
People who loved her and cared for her came, and I'm glad we rented 2 extra tables because we needed them.
Yeah, we did. That was a good call.
Yeah, that was because we had so many people that just love her and care for her, and she was just so thankful for how many people came to her party, and so were we. Just feeling beyond blessed to have the family and friends that we have. So that was good.
It was great. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. If Bob was here, he would say...
See you, everybody.
Oh, and then before that, I would say go out there and share the gateway to the magic.
We'll start it again.
Nah, it's a learning curve. We'll see you, everybody. Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoop.com.